I hope Tyler feels really awesome for being the reason that family will no longer have the support both financially and emotionally from Mark. As a Tyler viewer, even I can see his ploy to create drama. I came across this guy's content a year ago and was amazed at how slimy it seemed with little pushback from viewers. Tyler Oliveira's unique approach to investigative content has earned him over 5 million subscribers, millions of views per upload, and a career many could only ever dream of. However, despite a seemingly crystal clear reputation, numerous members of the YouTube community have been exposing Tyler, revealing accusations that involve misrepresenting facts, irresponsible journalism, and starting a drama with another creator that possibly left a family without a home. Hi, I'm the InternetAnarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be diving into the career and dark side of Tyler Oliveira, a YouTuber who seems uncontroversial on a surface level, but due to his actions has slowly had his audience turn on him. Ever since Tyler Oliveira made his debut on YouTube in 2018, the idea of creating captivating and engaging content has consistently been a primary focus on his channel. From his early prank videos to the challenge videos that preceded his appearance on the MrBeast channel as his 7 millionth subscriber, Tyler also had a talent for presenting viewers with the most engaging visual experience possible. However, this approach of prioritizing highly engaging content above all else has not been without its challenges and setbacks. In mid-January 2020, Tyler's upload titled "Can 1 million paper towels absorb a swimming pool?" left a bad taste in viewers' mouths for being extremely wasteful and polluting the environment for views. Fortunately for Tyler, he was able to put this controversy behind him, as he would go on to hit 1 million subscribers later that year. For a while, Tyler stuck to his challenge-themed uploads, and it doubled his subscriber count year after year. To many, it seemed this format would always be the main staple of his channel, but little did they know a chance encounter with a much larger YouTuber would change everything. On the 7th of February 2023, Tyler published a video titled "Brent Rivera Called the Cops on Me," which showcased a confrontation between the two creators at a horror-themed hotel.
Brent Rivera's right there.
Hey, go have fun with your 100 subscribers,
We get that louder.
you don't have a directional mic on that camera? Hey, we're filming our thing. You film yours, okay?
Yeah.
Let's not be.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Let's not be disrespectful, okay?
Well, you guys shit talking the iPhone
I don't
though.
appreciate the disrespect.
What disrespect? I literally walked out of my hotel room and nearly had a heart attack.
The video would spark a viral drama between the two creators that spawned various heated response videos from both parties. Ultimately, Tyler would come out as the victor. However, bragging rights weren't the only thing he gained from the dispute. From then on, Tyler saw he could try out new ways to make his videos engaging without always doing the MrBeast style challenges. However, the stories Tyler was about to cover had drastically raised stakes and even higher consequences if he didn't handle them correctly. By the end of February 2023, Tyler began his pivot away from challenge videos and focused more on investigation style content that showed him traveling to various peculiar locations around or outside America. From the chemically polluted areas around East Palestine to the US-Mexico border, Tyler focused on featuring people and places with unique qualities in his signature style, and it worked out amazingly for him. This new format brought in more than double the viewership and subscriber growth of the previous challenge content. Tyler had found a new niche for himself on YouTube and was reaping the rewards from it, even going as far as to label himself as a quote YouTuber turned investigative journalist. However, Tyler's new journalistic approach to content creation would come with new requirements and obligations that he would have to strictly abide by, specifically proper due diligence and accurate representations of facts. For the most part, Tyler's uploads adhered to these qualities, but as time passed, things slowly drifted away from facts and leaned more towards provocative entertainment. There were two key uploads that showed this concerning shift in priorities, with the first being "I investigated the underground city of mole people," which saw Tyler venture into the homeless encampments under Las Vegas. In the first minute of the video, he alleged that a charity called Holy Smoke that operated in the area had put out a hit on him.
And that's me running for my life after learning a charity has ordered them to attack me on site.
Shortly after, Tyler shared a text message between him and Holy Smoke that suggested they had malicious intent.
Hi Tyler, this is Paisley from Holy Smoke. I understand that you intend to go into the tunnels without us or another local organization. I just wanted to inform you that that is a very bad idea. Not only will you not get the truth, at best, you will be run out. I wanted to warn you that we had 2 encampments that expected you guys, and when you weren't with us and we said why, and they said, so if they show up, would you get in trouble if we fuck them up? If they're not with you, they're not welcome. We tried to give you an in, but it looks like you don't understand how to do charity work. I'm advising you to not go into the tunnels. They will not welcome you or anyone else not associated with the charities they trust. I'm just telling you the reality that our folks don't want to be documented and without prior consent and knowing exactly how they're going to be portrayed. It's called scripting, something we don't do.
While these statements seem alarming, this was just Tyler's side of the story, and by the 11th of August 2023, Holy Smoke shared theirs.
First thing to bring up is when we met with them before everything fell apart, we informed him that, we make sure everyone's respected. We don't tolerate any language like mole people. He just felt free to go ahead and title the video in such a way and make that thumbnail, that hideous thumbnail. He failed as a person because he chose to be hurtful and exploitive. After assuring us he understood the problem with this term.
The pair then discussed Tyler's claims of an attempt on his life, which later proved to be unfounded.
Oh, and also when he's running, so he's trying to portray it's like, oh, it's so dangerous, he's so brave going down the tunnels, because not only was he running from a non-existent flood when there hadn't been any rain in weeks, but he was also running because he said that we put a hit on him. He said that Holy Smoke had ordered people to attack them, and that's not what happened. That's not at all what happened. And, we invited him to come back. This is all in text. So, we got receipts. And I said, yeah, come without the cameras. Come meet people first.
They then clarified that they were not buying substances for the homeless people.
Then there's this other ridiculous allegation he makes that we buy weed from people in the tunnels. We don't do that. That's crazy. Like, what the hell? Like,
30 dispensaries, walking distance right there.
Finally, Holy Smoke brought forward concerning allegations about the supposed homeless expert that he brought along to explore the tunnels.
And as it turns out, we've been informed by people reaching out to us to educate us on Kevin and his background. He's part of an organization, or was part of an organization that has a truly despicable, the worst things you can think of, this organization is involved in. It's amazing he's still alive given the laundry list. Even the government even got involved trying to stop this group from its heinous activities, and the people that they had working with them, just the most hideous kinds of people. And I don't use that term lightly.
It seems Tyler had one negative interaction with a charity that helps homeless people and decided to spin the narrative that they were violent in order to make his video more dramatic. Unfortunately, this wouldn't be the only time Tyler plays up a non-existent danger to make a video more entertaining. The second video that showcases Tyler putting shock value over accuracy was the "I investigated the country where every drug is legal" upload. And right off the bat, the title is completely inaccurate, as Vancouver is a city, not a country, and substances weren't made legal there, but rather decriminalized. This means an individual over the age of 18 won't be arrested or charged for possessing small amounts of certain substances, not all of them. Throughout the video, Tyler repeatedly stated that substances were made legal and that this was the root cause of homelessness in the area, when that wasn't the case.
This is Vancouver, Canada, a city that made every legal. Addiction, overdoses, homelessness, and crime.
Keep driving.
All things are good and balanced. God made all.
A few side effects of decriminalizing every since January 2023. The city's goal was to make using safer by making them legal, but many Canadians think it's done the exact opposite. So I went to downtown Vancouver with my friend Kevin, social worker and addiction specialist, to see the impact decriminalizing has had on the city.
To make matters worse, Tyler would spend the rest of the video stating that local businesses were fueling the substance epidemic by selling lighters.
I walked into a nearby convenience store and noticed it was filled with pipes, torches, and every other tool addicts might need to fuel their addiction. Look at this all right here.
Oh, you're not allowed to take pictures.
Okay.
He claimed a homeless shelter was a safe injection site.
In addition to the decriminalization of
Vancouver has also implemented what's known as a safe injection site, a safe, clean, and supervised place for users to inject while decreasing needle sharing, syringe reuse, overdose death, and in the hopes of eventually referring these people to social services and addiction counseling. Little did I know, Kevin snuck into one last night, and here's how it looked.
And filmed a man who was ODing without his consent.
As we walked to a safe needle exchange to try to interview the workers there, we stumbled upon this. This is where they're handing out harm reduction needle supplies and whatnot. We're just wondering if we could hear your opinion on what's going on out here in Vancouver.
This very second is not a great time.
Okay, got it.
No, it's just I've got somebody who's just OD'd outside.
Oh, so that's an overdose. Okay.
That is what a with sleep exhaustion overdose looks like.
Meth overdose in real time right now. Ambulance is probably coming for him. You look at Dana doing his thing. So
this is complete chaos.
The man in that clip was a volunteer at an OD prevention center who was unfortunately ODing after his shift.
That's, feels ultra negative.
It was a smear piece. I was really disappointed, and I felt kind of used.
It's terrible to think that someone in distress who was having a difficult time was being filmed and put on the internet for likes and clicks. And it's disgusting that people think they can come down here and film people when they're having a difficult time in the downtown east side.
At every chance, Tyler depicted the substance situation in Vancouver as chaotic and dangerous, without realizing how his actions affected those who were already struggling. It seems Tyler wanted to make these uploads as inflammatory as possible, and it was only a matter of time before his quest for a juicy story ended in tragedy for someone else. On the 4th of March 2024, Tyler uploaded his "I investigated the poorest region of America" video, which featured him documenting his journey across the impoverished areas of West Virginia.
known for its many negative stereotypes, ranking #1 in depression, #2 in poverty, and #4 in drug addiction, I'm gonna visit the poorest towns in this dead state once fueled by its booming coal mine industry, starting in the third poorest town, Martinsburg, and ending in Odd, West Virginia, home of the Whitakers, the most inbred family in America.
While the first half of the video was nothing out of the ordinary for Tyler as he interviewed various residents on the conditions of the area, it was the final third of the video that would ultimately land him in hot water. By the 19-minute mark, Tyler would go to visit the Whitaker's family to drop off some supplies and ask them a few interesting questions.
You might be wondering why I've driven all across West Virginia to meet these people. A couple years ago, I saw this video on YouTube titled Inbred Family, The Whitakers, where this guy, Mark Laita, records his interaction with a family suffering a long history of inbreeding.
Do you remember anything about your life? Hey. And you lost your other brother.
9 days later, he uploaded this to his YouTube channel.
This is not I'm not trying to create a TV show where we're doing follow-ups on people, because I could easily do that. I try to resist doing that, because people, like, I see the comments sometimes, oh, you're just exploiting these people.
Tyler then went on to speculate on Mark's true intentions for the Whitakers, as he brought up the GoFundMe that was made for the family, as well as the potential ad revenue from the interviews with them.
Now, assuming this contract even exists, it immediately raises a red flag when you consider that Mark has made 13 videos with the Whitakers, with a combined total of 89.13 million views. In every one of these videos, Mark currently has a GoFundMe link with the mission to help the Whitaker family purchase a new home, with $55,692 raised thus far, in addition to a previous 2022 GoFundMe that generated $12,000 for a new house. And for those preferring other ways to donate, you can also PayPal or Cash App Mark Laita directly, with a minimum of $77K raised directly for the house, in addition to however much was sent to Mark directly via Cash App and PayPal, and however much money generated from, let's say, just the first video he made with the Whitakers, an extremely conservative estimate of $82,000, assuming a $2 RPM. We have a minimum of $159,000 in the home fund here. And there just so happens to be a house for sale right now in Odd, West Virginia, where they live, currently listed for $139,000. So why don't they have a new house?
Although the questions Tyler asked were responsible, the way he was framing it seemed as if he was trying to paint a negative portrait of Mark as someone who was potentially taking advantage of the Whitakers. Two key examples of this are Tyler's line of questioning for Betty Whitaker, the matriarch of the family.
What else? How's the house coming along?
What house?
I
don't know what house. We have to Mark about the house.
What did Mark say about the house? Paige wants to get an update.
I don't know.
Okay. Do you think he's...
Mark told we ain't got no more money in there. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, he always told us.
From my understanding, there's like, I don't know, $50,000 or $60,000 in there? Has Mark given you guys an update?
No.
And his closing statement to Mark about, quote, having any honor.
Started a GoFundMe linked in this video's description and donated $10,000 of my own money. And Mark, if you have any honor, let's combine whatever my viewers and I raise, your two GoFundMes, and let's get the Whitakers a new house for reals.
Tyler has a history of sensationalizing stories that he covers, and this time, he was putting forward the narrative that the funds being raised by Mark weren't going to the right place. Unfortunately, Tyler was about to find out that was never the case. Within hours of Tyler's investigation going live, Mark would make a response to the situation with a video titled, Whitaker's GoFundMe, The Problem with Social Media.
Hey everybody, this is Mark. I thought I'd address something that a lot of people are have questions about. There's a young YouTuber named Tyler Oliveira, I believe his name is. Tyler Oliveira Investigates, or whatever, something like that. But he posted a video about the poverty in West Virginia, but he spent some time with the Whitaker family in West Virginia and asked a lot of questions about the GoFundMe that my channel has that benefits the family. And I thought I'd answer everyone's questions, because I'm sure if you've watched that video, you've got a lot of questions about what's going on with the GoFundMe for the Whitakers.
Mark continues by explaining the purpose of the GoFundMe that was created, as well as the flow of money from the fund to the Whitakers.
This GoFundMe that I've had for years, since I've been interviewing the family, has generated a lot of money for the family. It was always designed to help them with their living expenses, and then like end of last year, we changed it to we started a new GoFundMe, and I tried to start a new one so it would look like this is how much money we're going to get for the house. And as we accumulated money for that, I was thinking, hey, we're getting closer to our goal. But the problem has been that Betty and Larry will call me every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and say, hey, we need money for a car. Larry wrecked his car. We need a new car. We need food. We need this. We need that. It's always an emergency. And when they tell me they need money, what am I going to say? No, you can't have it. We're saving it for a house. So I give them the money. Sometimes it's $5,000, sometimes it's $4,000, sometimes it's $6,000, or one time it was $14,000, sometimes it's $3,000 or $2,000, but it adds up. Every few weeks I'm getting another phone call, we need more money, we need more money, we need more money.
To fully get his point across, Mark shared transaction receipts that revealed he'd sent over $100,000 to Betty from the GoFundMe. Mark was also the one covering the taxes on the funds that were raised so that the Whitakers didn't have any troubles with the IRS. As a consequence of the Whitakers' frequent withdrawals, the money in the GoFundMe was never enough to purchase a home, and when the funds were depleted, Mark helped them out of his own pocket. Circling back to his original point, Mark lamented the scandalous nature of Tyler's video, while explaining why he never gave the contact information of the Whitakers.
There are people on social media that create these like scandal stories. They're not factual, they're misinformation. They're making up facts to create a scandal. He didn't ask me, he never called me. He did call me once to ask if I give them my contact info, but I don't want to give out the contact info of everybody I interview. How many requests for the Whitaker contact info did we get back then?
So many. It would have ruined their life if all the people got their
so we have to figure out a way to keep everybody from going to the house and it becoming like a problem for them. Yeah. So I made up excuses why I'm not going to give out the contact information.
The situation would sadly leave Mark with no other option than to discontinue the GoFundMe for the Whitakers and stop all his future productions with them. These revelations almost immediately resulted in serious backlash for Tyler. The formerly sweet and positive comment section turned sour, with angry viewers who were now aware of his subtle manipulation, with comments reading, "You know exactly what you were doing. Betty doesn't have the intelligence to explain how much money Mark has already given them. If anyone's exploiting the family, it's you. Bro, you home-wrecked a relationship that will never be rebuilt." As well as, "Mark has done so much more than raise money for them. He took them to the fair, to get haircuts, shopping, and has even spent Christmas with them. So thank you very much for trying to tarnish Mark's name. Now those poor people have lost the one person that really cares for them. you happy now? With such overwhelming negativity, Tyler would try to save face by uploading his response to the situation, in which he took zero accountability for the damage he caused.
Update on the Whitakers and Mark Laita. One day ago, I uploaded a video about West Virginia. I go to the Whitaker's house, drop off some groceries, and I ask Mark, what's going on with the GoFundMe? Where's the money? I did not accuse him of doing anything. I did not call him names. I merely asked the question I myself was curious about, and thousands of other people in Mark's own channel have asked him, which is to help buy them a new home.
Tyler was trying to downplay the nature of his statement and the questions that were directed at Mark. Asking a man if he has any honor in a situation that involves helping the less fortunate is a jab at his credibility. No matter how you look at it, Tyler's next move was to shift the blame to Mark for not accurately updating donors on the flow of the funds.
My problem with this is A, he could have just updated the viewers every couple months. That's simple. The goal of getting them this house is not real, nor will it ever materialize. Any donor sending money to that GoFundMe is under the impression it is going towards the larger purchase of a home, not for random living expenses that Mark will send their way in the chunks of $4,000 to $5,000 every 2 weeks to a month. There's no money left in the GoFundMe. As the money comes in the GoFundMe, the money goes out of the GoFundMe.
This was followed by Tyler downplaying his impact on the relationship with Mark and the Whitakers.
I've basically ruined the relationship between them, when in reality, that's between them. One person with a platform asked the question of what's going on with the public GoFundMe with public funds donated to the GoFundMe by strangers who care about these people, because it calls into question what? Didn't accuse him of being a scammer, didn't call many names. I merely asked what was going on here. Mark's frustration is that I didn't email him personally, which I asked him open-endedly on the video, and we now have this update.
As you'd expect, this response didn't go over well with viewers, as even more criticism and negativity was piled onto Tyler's platform. This outcome would eventually force Tyler to take down his response to mitigate the backlash. However, the damage was already done, with Mark pulling his support from the Whitakers due to the drama. But just when the situation seemed to have hit rock bottom, it took an even more shocking turn. On the 25th of March 2024, Mark would upload a video titled "The Death of Larry Whitaker." This video would shift the narrative for both Tyler and Mark and shine a very negative light on the Whitaker family. It all started when Mark began receiving phone calls from a member of the family claiming the death of Larry.
Mark, I'm sorry. I don't know anything about this. If you could just help me this one time. I don't know what to do anymore. I'm just asking you, can you send me $150? I promise after I get everything arrangements for my dad. I never thought today would be the day I would lose my dad.
I received the message you just heard from Larry's daughter, BJ, about a week ago. BJ has been asking me for money to help pay for her father's funeral, obituary, and yesterday she texted me to ask for money for clothes for Betty, Lorraine, Ray, and Timmy to wear to Larry's funeral.
After hearing this, Mark would fly across the country to find out the truth regarding these claims and verify them for himself.
So I thought I'd fly out to West Virginia to go to Larry's funeral, which is today. No one knows we're coming. And I spoke to Betty about Larry's death, and she confirmed what BJ had told me, that Larry had passed away. So something still seems off, and I'm going to surprise everyone and see what I can find out.
Upon arriving at the Whitaker residence, they were surprised to see Mark, and a member of the family was even more surprised to hear the claims of Larry's apparent death.
So I'm here to go to Larry's funeral.
Larry's funeral?
Larry's funeral is today.
Larry did die?
That's what BJ told me.
Hey, what BJ tell you?
BJ told me his funeral's today at 3 o'clock.
Larry didn't die.
Well, that's BJ for you.
What you wanted for?
What's that?
I said, you know what you want that
I know what she wants the money for, but when she was telling me this, I'm across the country. I don't know what's going on. I feel bad that Larry passed away. And here's a daughter crying hysterically over losing her dad, so I felt bad. So I sent her some money to help with the funeral. I don't know. I don't have time to fly across the country every time somebody makes a claim. So I trusted her. And I was trying to call you, but you never answered the phone.
The rest of the video was spent confronting the family for trying to extort money out of Mark, also revealing that a lot of the money donated was being spent on substances. Following the video's release, Tyler would make a statement on his community tab, stating, "I've refunded the GoFundMe donations you guys have donated to the Whitakers. It has come to light that the 150k in Mark's GoFundMe donations has gone towards funding BJ's son's addiction. I offered to buy the family a home, but they didn't want to move. I paid the down payments for 2 separate modular homes, but both companies backed out of the deal. I do not want your money to go towards crack or meth. At a certain point, there is such thing as toxic charity. Upon watching Mark's video where BJ lies about the death of her father to get more money to buy drugs, it is then revealed that several family members are in on the lie, leading both myself and Mark to realize we're being lied to the entire time. In conclusion, I've instead decided to donate the initial $10,000 I pledged to the Whitakers towards an organization called Coalfield Development. They've been working for the last 13 years to rebuild West Virginia's economy from the ground up by creating jobs, paying people to get education/training, and diversifying their local economies to create long-term job opportunities. Whilst Tyler seems to have made the right move here, his apology to Mark is long overdue, and it still seems that the damage was done and Tyler showed his true colors. If he makes a mistake and the public opinion is rightfully against him, Tyler would rather redirect blame and ignore his wrongdoing than confront it openly to preserve his image. Journalism requires a very high degree of fact-checking and credibility, 2 things that Tyler seems to be struggling with. Prioritizing shocking thumbnails and stories might get him more views, but it won't give said viewers an accurate picture of what's actually going on. For example, Tyler's video on the substance problem in Vancouver contains various mistakes and misconceptions on decriminalization that only serve to give members of his audience the wrong impression and further stigmatize those who do find themselves in such an unfortunate situation. Then there's the matter of Tyler walking the fine line between highlighting the less fortunate in our society and profiting off them, as some of his thumbnails feature him pointing at people and calling them zombies or mole people. Tyler has a pattern of crafting a provocative story first and worrying about the consequences later, which often leaves those he covers as collateral damage.